Few stories have the power to fascinate us more than those that remain unresolved. But despite the efforts of our most revered historians, cleverest cryptographers, archaeologists, and most determined treasure hunters, history is full of riddles that continue to confuse us today. From the mysterious sound of an ancient city in Mexico to the terrifying mysterious lake, here are 10 unsolved mysteries that are impossible to sum now. Number 10. The Taos Hum. Let's start with one of the weirdest but natural phenomenon out there. The Taos Hum is as big and famous of a mystery as the Grand Canyons and the Egyptian pyramids. Some residents and visitors in the small city of Taos, New Mexico, have for years been annoyed and puzzled by a mysterious and faint low-frequency hum in the desert air. Weirdly, only about 2% of Taos residents report hearing the sound. Some believe it is caused by unusual acoustics. Whether described as a whir, hum, or buzz, and whether psychological, natural, or supernatural, no one has yet been able to locate the sound's origin. You can listen to it right here, too. Number 9. Jack the Ripper. In 1888, Jack the Ripper killed at least 5 women in London, mutilating their bodies. A number of letters, supposedly from the Ripper, were sent to police taunting officers' efforts to find the Ripper. Whether any of them were actually written by the Ripper is a matter of debate among scholars. The name Jack the Ripper comes from those letters. Needless to say, the Ripper was never found, and over the years, dozens of people have been brought up as possible candidates. A recent book suggested that a woman named Lizzie Williams was the Ripper, although other Ripper experts cast doubt on it. It appears unlikely that the true identity of the Ripper will ever be known for sure. Number 8. Dancing Plague. You must have heard about the Black Death, bubonic plague, Spanish plague, etc. But have you ever heard about the dancing plague? Many people don't believe it, but it's very real. In 1518, a dancing plague struck Strasbourg, Alsace, also known as the dance epidemic. This weird condition took over 400 people's bodies and made them dance without rest. Some of these people even died of heart attacks, exhaustion, or strokes. It all started in July of 1518, when one woman named Mrs. Trophia started dancing uncontrollably in the middle of Strasbourg. She was later joined by 34 people, and soon after, the plague spread to around 400 people. At one point, it would kill around 15 people per day. Doctors and authorities realized this was not caused by supernatural causes and claimed this epidemic was due to hot blood. But instead of treating the patients, doctors advised them to basically dance it out by building them a wooden stage. It is believed that the modern marathon runner would not be able to survive this type of intense workout. To this day, scientists are not quite sure what caused this terrible epidemic. Number 7. PHAISTOS Disc. The mystery of the PHAISTOS disc is a story that sounds like something out of an Indiana Jones movie. Discovered by Italian archaeologist Luigi Pernier in 1908 in the Minoan Palace site of PHAISTOS, the disc is made of fired clay and contains mysterious symbols that may represent an unknown form of hieroglyphics. It is believed that it was designed sometime in the 2nd millennium BC. Some scholars believe that the hieroglyphs resemble symbols of linear A and linear B, scripts once used in ancient Crete. The only problem? Linear A also eludes decipherment. Today, the disc remains one of the most famous puzzles of archaeology. Number 6. Amelia Earhart. In the 1930s, Amelia Earhart was one of the most famous women in the world. She was a best-selling author, feminist hero, a faculty member of Purdue University, and friend of First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. Her flying prowess made her a role model for many women. Earhart was intent on making a trip circling the globe, covering more than 30,000 miles, but never was seen again after her takeoff. After Earhart vanished, the United States government conducted its largest ever search for a lost aircraft, but turned up empty-handed. While she was officially declared dead 2 years later, that has not stopped speculations about Earhart's fate. Depending on which theory you believe, Earhart might have crashed and died right then, or died years later in captivity. or lived into her late 70s as a New Jersey housewife. We'll probably never know what happened to her. Number 5. Parallel Universe. Until now, we've only talked about worldly historic mysteries, so let's look at something more astronomical now. Astrophysical data suggests space-time might be flat rather than curved, and thus it goes on forever. If so, then the region we can see, which we think of as the universe, is just one patch in an infinitely large, quilted multiverse. At the same time, the laws of quantum mechanics dictate that there are only a finite number of possible particle configurations within each cosmic patch. So, with an infinite number of cosmic patches, the particle arrangements within them are forced to repeat, infinitely many times over. This means that there are infinitely many parallel universes, cosmic patches exactly the same as ours, containing someone exactly like you, as well as patches that differ by just one particle's position, patches that differ by two particles' positions, and so on, down to patches that are totally different from ours. How cool would it be to know that there really exists a parallel universe? But sadly, this mystery will probably not be solved anytime soon. Number 4. Area 51. Up next, we have the mystery that you're most likely familiar with. Area 51 in southern Nevada is a U.S. military base, the very existence of which was unconfirmed until 2013, when the CIA was obliged to respond to a Freedom of Information Act request from 2005. Based on historical evidence, it would appear that Area 51 supports the development and testing of experimental aircraft and weapons. Public satellite images, such as those available on Google Maps, don't provide insight. Even those with security clearance to visit Area 51 are transported there from Las Vegas via an airline called Janet, whose planes are unmarked and which shroud its windows upon descent. The intense secrecy surrounding Area 51 has sparked rumors that the government uses it to house crashed UFOs and conduct lab tests on aliens. Other theories about what Area 51 is used for include research on time travel, research on teleportation, meetings with extraterrestrials, development of a means for weather control, and activities related to a shadowy one-world government. Considering how much the US government loves this place, there's no way it will be known what's in it anytime soon. Number 3. The MV JOYITA. The MV JOYITA set out for a 2-day trip in 1955 in the South Pacific, but she was unfortunately found partially sunk a month later. None of the initial 25 passengers were found aboard, so an investigation was immediately launched. The investigation revealed that a lot of the ship's cargo, including medical supplies, timber, and food, was missing. There were also a lot of blood-stained bandages found on the deck. However, the investigations were found to be inconclusive, and not even one of the passengers was ever seen again. No one knows exactly what happened to the ship or her passengers, and why there were blood-stained bandages found there. Several theories had been put forth trying to explain the mystery of the ship, including Soviet kidnappers, murder, a flood caused by a corroded pipe, etc. But as of 2002, family members of the crew were still searching for their loved ones and answers for their unexplained gone missing. And this abandoned half-sunk ship remains a mystery. Before we move towards today's subscriber's pick, we have a bonus entry that has even the CIA scratching their heads. KRYPTOS. No, this is in no way related to Superman. KRYPTOS is a mysterious encrypted sculpture designed by artist Jim Sanborn, which sits right outside the headquarters of the CIA in Langley, Virginia. It's so mysterious, in fact, that not even the CIA has completely cracked the code. The sculpture contains 4 inscriptions, and although 3 of them have been cracked, the 4th remains elusive. In 2006, Sanborn let slip that there are clues in the first inscriptions to the last one, and in 2010, he released another clue, the letters 64 to 69 NYPVTT in Part 4, encode the text Berlin. Think you have what it takes to solve it?
Before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you'll get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it. It really works.
And with that, it's now time for today's subscriber pick. Today's photo was sent to us by a subscriber. If you come across a photo online and you want to know more details about it, just send it over to us. We might even feature it in a future video. Number 2. This picture seems like it was edited, as we weren't able to find anything related to it on the internet. Mysterious creatures and animals have been seen and captured on camera, like shown in this video. The editor of this picture must have seen something related to it and then created a fake picture. Nevertheless, it is a fake picture. Number 1. The Lake ANJIKUNI. This is one of the most terrifying places you'll ever hear about, so hang tight. One bitter night in November of 1930, an exhausted Canadian fur trapper named Joe LaBelle sought refuge from the cold and inadvertently stumbled across one of history's most remarkable mysteries. The once industrious Inuit village on the shores of Lake ANJIKUNI that LaBelle had seen throughout his travels had vanished without a trace. Where in previous visits he had enjoyed the warmth and company of a busy and bustling community, now there was only an empty village. Upon investigation, he found fires still burning, food stocks intact, and the villagers' belongings in place. Yet, as the search continued, it became clear that the people of Lake ANJIKUNI had vanished. But there was also something stranger and more sinister going on here. Even the dead had disappeared from their graves. That began as one of Canada's most remarkable mysteries, one that continues to haunt the vast northern wilderness to this day. Which one of these mysteries do you think you have an answer for? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.